Hello, this is David Braun, and this video is entitled Excel and the Total Solution for the 1004 MC Form. I've tried to program the Total Solution to where it relies the least on Excel as far as the user goes as possible. However, as many of you have found out, there's still some things about Excel it would be nice to know and understand, so at least we can communicate. For example, each line is a cell in Excel. We don't call it a line, we call it a cell. This is your product. The way it would open on your screen, actually the way it would open on your screen is view full screen. This is the way it would open on your screen. It takes the whole screen up. I'm working in Excel 2007 here, and this is still a good video for the 2003 users because I'm going to only cover stuff that affects both versions of Excel. So this is a cell. Down here we see some tab bars. We see some tabs, and these tabs represent sheets. So you've got a setup sheet, a data sheet, the actual 1004 form. So when I talk about tabs, that's what I'm talking about, is this at the bottom. Some of you have a bar like this. I think this might be called a status bar. And if your status bar stays up like this all of the time, then you'll need to right-click on it, go to Properties, and click the Auto Hide the taskbar, then Apply, and then OK. And what that will do will fix it where when you don't pull your mouse down too far, it'll be out of your way. Keep in mind it's a little bit of a nuisance because where I want to click Worksheet, if I go a little too far, it pops up. So it's a little bit of a nuisance. You'll have to get used to it. So now we know that this is a cell. We know that these are your toolbars. Now, if I want to see my these are your tabs at the bottom. I was moving on to the toolbars. If I want to see the toolbars, I just want to make sure I've clicked a cell somewhere and got the what we call in programming, got the focus on the sheet, and then hit the escape key. That'll open you up in case you want to do something like unprotect a sheet. Right now, this sheet is somewhat protected in that if you click here and try to type, it won't let you. Now, in 2003 and 07, it's different ways to protect and unprotect. So what you'd want to do is click if there's anything that comes up, you want to click your Excel help. It's a little question mark there. You want to click it. Then when it opens, you want to type in your subject. For example, I want to put protect worksheet. And then you'll click search and protect worksheet or worksheet elements, and you can click these and they'll tell you how to do it. So one of the advantages we have by using Excel is it's got a huge library of help. As a matter of fact, I think they finally got the help updated for the 2007 version. I downloaded quite a bit the other day. Now I'm going to take my pencil here and start marking off some things that we've talked about. Now, what is a worksheet? A worksheet is each one of these sheets, and like I say, the tab is how you get to the sheet. So this is a worksheet. Now, what's the difference in workbooks? If I tell you what about a workbook? Well, in workbooks, for example, my data is over here in another file, and a file in Excel is called a workbook. So, excuse me, but I have two workbooks open now. I have my data that I downloaded from the MLS, and I have my total solution. And they're both open at the same time. If you have the status bar, you can pull down and you can see this. So that's what a workbook is. So when I tell you to send me your workbook or your workbooks, then I would want both those. For example, I'm going to go here to load the data into the total solution button. Now, I've got two workbooks open, so I have to tell the computer it's dumb. And I've got to tell it which workbook. So I want this workbook has my data, but we know a workbook can have multiple pages, and it's going to ask me, which page do you want? Well, in this case, there was only one page. So that's what it's doing. Now, if you had an error here, I might tell you to send me the workbooks, which would mean to email me a copy of the actual total solution you're in and a copy of the actual data so I can recreate your problem. I'm going to click here, subject market, just to do it. Data has been transferred. Now I'm curious, did the data really transfer? So I'm going to look in the data for subject market, and now there's data in there. So yes, it did transfer. Okay, so again, we've covered what a cell is. We've seen how to get out of the full screen. We have talked about the tabs. Now, let's talk about the template. Right now, this says 104C total solution 1. This 1 is a clue that that's a template. For example, if I go to my desktop and I open it again, I open another one, there it goes. Remember, we can have multiple ones. Now I'm going to make sure the focus is on this sheet, hit escape, and I look here, and now this is the second copy. So when you see a 1 or a 2 behind, you're probably in the copies. So what I'm going to do is close this right now and close this one. Don't want to save. And I am going, now I want to open the real template. To open the real template, now this thing of a template and a copy of the template, it's kind of like artists that make prints. Most people buy a print from a famous artist. That's like the copy. But the original would be the template. I have I've got like 2 original pieces of artwork in my home. I was thrilled to have 2 originals because the originals cost a lot more. Now the prints are like the copies. So we want to open the original one. So let's go from inside of Excel. That means you need to be in an Excel. You need to be in Excel. You don't have to be in a workbook. You just need to be in Excel. Then you have to go File, Open in Excel. And in my case, then I would simply go to it. Let me go to it real quick. Got my stuff buried pretty deep. And there is a template. Usually there's a T in the name. So when I open this, now when I look at this, I'm going to click for the focus, escape, and I see here there's no 1, 2, or 3. There's actually a T. That T stands for template. Some of you that are using 03, it'll be XLT. The T means template. So I'm in the real template. So if I put some information in this one and save it, then when I open it up, a copy of it, it will still be there. So let's talk about how you open a copy. The way you open a copy when you don't want your template is you go to a shortcut on your desktop. So Lydia Loves You, that's my daughter, so that's why that's there. I didn't know I was going to get on this screen, but all right, total solution for the office. I can right click. It's going to open up a copy of the template. And here it comes. Okay, there we are. And I can take a look and see that there's one. It's a copy. Now, and if I use the Explorer, right click on Start, Explore, and I go get one, it will also open a copy of the template. So now we've covered several things. We've covered a cell. We've covered the toolbars. We've covered how to minimize your screen so you can see some bars. We've talked about the difference in a template versus a copy. Now we need to talk about printing. I've color-coded these to give you an idea of what you're looking at. Like this is data. If I come up here and say, let's run the condo data, you'll see it opened the condo data up. So these colored ones are about data. These 3 are your report. So if you click a report, one page, and you go File, Print, you'll notice here that I have a choice. Selection, Active Sheets, or All Sheets. Entire workbook. Entire workbook is going to print a lot of stuff you don't want. So the answer here would be Active Sheets. Now, what if you want it just real quick to send this to somebody? Okay, you would select this little selection. You'd go File, Print, and when it comes up, you would choose Selection. And when you say OK, it's only going to print this little square. Now, here's the catch. You want all these sheets printed. You want the worksheet and the narrative and this. The way that you do that is you first click the one you want, then you hold the Control key and select the other sheets. So right now these 3 are selected. So when I go File, Print, and let's just take a look. Let's go to the Print Preview, for example. When I click the Print Preview, there it goes. There's one page, and there's the other stuff. So I know it's all in there. So by selecting all three, now if you were going to select more than three, I'd probably click one, hold the shift key, go way over and click it. The main trick is make sure you're not clicked here and then you hold the control key and start clicking and you'll end up with this one. You didn't want this one. So the main thing is to click on the one you want, hold the control key and click the other two. When you want to release them, you just click one off of it. Now they're released. If you have three picked and you try to go in and do something, it can mess you up. So when you're done, then unclick them. So if I want to print all three in my report, control, and select, and then when I view it, they're all three in there. Okay, so that's how you would print. Now remember that it's not today or tomorrow that you have to know a lot about Excel, but eventually those of you that are going to be in the business for another 5 and 10 years are going to want to learn a little bit more about Excel. I really suggest that as you do these, you go ahead and sign up at your local community college for it's called a one-day beginner Excel class. They usually do them in 2-3 hour sessions, so you can really still work. They do them at day or they do them at night, and you want to do that. Now, I'll be adding more modules to the 2007 version, and I'm probably going to start putting up a little, as you can imagine, I've programmed quite a bit of stuff in Excel, and I'm going to start offering that on the website once a month to the people that have bought the total solution, or I'll just maybe send them to you in the email. But you'll be getting some more stuff, so I want to motivate you to learn what you can about Excel. But you're here trying to get these 1004 MC forms out, and I know you're having a lot of problem, like how do I print more than one sheet at a time? And, you know, if I'm going to print to my PDF, I don't know why they call it that, but when you're going to make a PDF, you go to your print. You come down to your PDF, whichever one it is. There's my Adobe right there. Now, Woody that works with me in my office, Woody Fincham, has downloaded at the AVT user forum group, he's downloaded how to get the report into an MLS. He's got like 5 or 6 sheets. So go down there. The way you get to that forum is you go to www.scoopgear.com and then you click on visit or join the user group, and it'll take you down there and you can find that. Well, actually, if you're watching this, you're probably down there now. So anyway, I want to thank you for either purchasing the 104 MC, or I just want to thank you for coming down to the site and looking around. At any rate, that winds up this presentation. Thank you very much.